Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I have another tag video because I really enjoyed doing the last one and I thought doing them might be a good way of kind of getting a little bit more personal on my channel and finding out a little bit more about me. Today I'm going to be doing the vegan tag, so let's get started. So I have been vegan since September time, I think, so that is roughly around 6 months, which actually I've just kind of worked that out right now and it's a lot longer than I realised, so I'm really pleased with that. I was vegetarian for 10 years before then, which I do think is still, you know, it's something I'm still pleased with. I just wish I'd made the switch to veganism a lot sooner. So obviously I was vegetarian before, like I've just said, that was due to I didn't want anything dying for me to eat it. And then I worked with a girl in Brisbane called Tani. Hi Tani, if you're watching. And she was vegan, and she would post a lot of things on Facebook and kind of explain a lot more about why the dairy industry is so cruel. So I kind of asked her a little more about that, and I realised the reasons people don't eat dairy is exactly the same reasons that I didn't eat meat. And I think I'd probably just been a little bit ignorant to it before then and kind of just hadn't, I don't know, maybe I just hadn't been ready to make that jump to veganism, but after kind of speaking to her and finding out a little bit more about it, I decided to make the switch, and I'm really pleased I did. Interesting question. I definitely try to be healthy, like I'm sure everybody tries to be. I definitely eat a lot more fruit and veg than I did when I was just vegetarian. So yeah, I try to be healthy, but I do like cakes and I do like junk food and crisps, and they are in my diet sometimes as well. But I do find even when I have things like that, they're often still plant-based, so probably still not as bad for you as it would be if you ate meat and dairy. So that's just me trying to justify it. No, I am healthy maybe like 70% of the time and junk food the rest of the time, but I obviously need to work on that and try and get my healthy food up a lot more. I would say no, definitely not. I haven't really found it hard being vegan. I did expect to. I thought it would be quite challenging, and initially it can be a little bit, just until you learn what's what. But after about a week I'd kind of got used to it. The only other time when I found it maybe a little bit more difficult was once I moved from Australia to New Zealand, and it was kind of starting over again in a new country and kind of finding the shops and finding what foods and what brands kind of had vegan food. But again, that's just kind of adapting, and it only takes around a week or so. But after that, no, I don't find it hard at all. I would say I get asked this question at least once a week, probably more. You do get protein in most plant-based foods. Pretty much if you're eating enough calories, you are getting enough protein. But I do eat a lot of kind of like beans. I've used like chickpeas and lentils, a lot of kind of pulses and things like that, and tofu as well. So yeah, I do get plenty of protein. What makes me laugh though is that a lot of people that ask that question either don't know what protein is and just ask it because they hear other people saying it, or you'll get people that clearly aren't into health and fitness at all and will eat a terrible diet that just happens to include lots of meat, and I'm like, oh, where do you get your protein from? It's like, alright, cholesterol city over your end, but judge me for my protein intake. So yeah, it does get very frustrating. No, if I ate fish I wouldn't be a vegan. That's just not what veganism is. And when I initially went vegetarian, I still ate fish for a couple of weeks, and then I realised that it's the exact same principle and I stopped eating fish. Fish are friends, not food. I would say my friends and family in general have been very good, and there's some mixed kind of views. Some people kind of joke about it a little bit and kind of make jokes or really don't understand. I told my mum the other week that I'd made vegan banana bread, and she was like, oh, did you put bananas in it? I was just like, yeah, bananas are all good. it's just pretty much meat and dairy. So yeah, some people don't really kind of fully understand still, which is fine. But in general, most people have been really supportive. My boyfriend's been brilliant, and is happy to eat a lot of vegan food, and you know, when we go out places, he's really good at kind of looking out for places for me as well. So yeah, he's been really good about it. So most of the time there will be something you can have if you're going out for a meal in a restaurant or something like that, or a cafe. I would usually kind of maybe call the place beforehand and see if there's something I can have, or look at the menu online, or if it's going around to someone's house, I'd maybe bring a couple of things, or just say, look, I'm vegan, sorry if that's pain, and do you need me to bring anything, or something like that. Yeah, it's never really been an issue so far. No, not really. I will be honest and say occasionally cheese, but you can get lots and lots of vegan cheese. It's not something I've actually kind of bought a lot of, which is maybe why I miss it. Maybe I just need to buy vegan cheese. But knowing where cheese comes from, the idea of it kind of grosses me out a little bit more. I just kind of wish that cheese wasn't what it was, if that makes sense. I wish it didn't come from a cow. Poor cow. So many favourite foods. I love sushi, with obviously with like cucumber and avocado and carrot and things like that in, or curries. I love Mexican food. I do like pizza, I just either don't get the cheese or I would get a one with vegan cheese. Burgers, you can get some amazing vegan burgers. Burger Fuel here in New Zealand, they have 2 or 3 vegan options, which is great. So yeah, or you can make your own vegan burgers at home, which is pretty easy to do, and they can be really yummy too. So thinking about it now, I really want a burger. My life's definitely better as a vegan. I really like the fact that I know I'm not causing any harm. Like, I can make like an amazing meal and just look at that and go, absolutely nothing was hurt for this. It's completely cruelty free, and that's a really nice feeling. And physically as well, I used to kind of get tummy aches kind of most evenings. I'd feel really bloated and my tummy would be quite sore. That very rarely happens now. So I actually think it's possibly from cutting out dairy in my diet. Most people like have a bit of a dairy intolerance, like it's not designed for people, so we don't respond well to it. And since cutting it out of my diet, I definitely have kind of noticed a difference. So yeah, physically and mentally, all good. It can actually be very cheap to be vegan. If you think most plants, so like fruit and veg, you can get pretty cheap. You can, if you want to buy like really posh ones and, you know, maybe like more specialist things, I suppose it could be more expensive. But I mean, I basically I can buy lots of like tins of beans and, you know, big packets of different fruits, and I go to like the little greengrocers, I suppose, the little kind of privately run shops, and they have different fruits in all the time, and depending on what they have on offer, you can kind of really change up what you have. So that's a really cheap way of doing it. Obviously if you want to buy lots of mock meats, maybe that could be a little bit more expensive, but you definitely don't have to have them. Tofu is actually very cheap. You can get that for like a couple of dollars here, so yeah, no, it doesn't have to be expensive at all. Yes, I absolutely do. The only part I found hard, as I said earlier, was kind of the initial move. You could obviously do that a little bit more gradually if you wanted to, but for me, once I'd made the decision, I just dove in head first and didn't really have all the information I needed. So I was kind of learning along the way, which made it a little bit more challenging. But apart from that, sometimes you get asked a lot of annoying questions. Whenever you're eating your meal, people will you know, quiz you on your food and things, and that can be a little bit frustrating. You're just like, I'm just eating my lunch, people. Can we all get over it? So yeah, sometimes that is annoying. As I said earlier, my boyfriend is great about it, so we would go somewhere where there is vegan options and I would stuff my face. Okay, so that is the end of the video. Like the last tag I did, I will post the questions in the description box, so if you would like to answer any of them in the comments, then please do. Or let me know if you've ever thought about being vegan and what your thoughts are on it, but please be nice. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and click subscribe if you'd like to see more from me. Also let me know about what other videos you might like to see. I'm trying to kind of broaden what I do on this channel, but I'll see you in my next video. Bye!